Like usual, got to do part one of the inquiry because I have stuff to talk about, you know. So the good news is that I'm just taking the edge off of the episode review because this is going to be a little bit more edgy. And it's like, yeah, it's no reason the inquiry should go first in the episode review, but hey, it's just because I need to just say things, but we're going to still have it. So it's going to be a little bit repetitive, but anyway, so let's go for it. So the makeover, it's actually Pop Pop getting his time to shine with a freaking love interest. It's like, yes, Pop Pop gets a love interest, baby. It's like, awesome. Awesome to the max. Oh, Slither returned. Yeah, no freaking idea where he came from, but okay, sure, why not? And of course, he actually brought a friend, and this Sporix Beast is able to swap people's, yeah, spirits, whatever, entities with each other. So I'm like shocked. I'm like, hey, you know one thing that happened in Power Ranger etiquette? Never switch a boy and a girl between each other. Never, never. Even if the original did it, never. And it's like, yeah, so I just had to start a little part of it off just by saying that, to just say, they switched bodies, folks. They switched the bodies and they didn't have the guts to finish it. They didn't guts to finish it. I'm like, finish it. Finish it. Finish it. So they switched bodies. You noticed that. And you had a boy and a girl switch bodies. Oh my gosh. So Zato is in Amelia's body and Amelia's in Zato's body. And of course, they also flipped, yeah, they didn't even do another boy and girl. Oh, no. They couldn't do Izzy and someone else, right? Like, nope, they just did Ollie and Javi, and they switched bodies too. Eventually, you had Ion actually switch bodies with a bird, a pigeon. Okay, sure, why not? But it's like, yeah, but they didn't finish it. They were like, oh, they can't morph. And I'm like, oh, switch keys. And like, I already thought of that. I was like, just switch keys, let's fight. Let's switch keys, let's battle. Amazingly enough, they didn't really commit. It's like they did it, and he actually switched a boy and a girl. Oh man, Sabans couldn't do it. Sabans didn't have the stones to do it. Not at all. They decided to be like, oh, we fucked up, so Jake and Noah needs to switch, so, you know. It's like, oh boy, here we go with this crap. You guys should have just allowed them to freaking change. It's like, it's Power Rangers in space, man. Okay? We didn't cry, and TJ wasn't pissed off that he went from Red to Blue Ranger. Just saying. That's how it's gonna go. Noah, you're now the Green Ranger. Congratulations. Jake, you're the Blue Ranger. Congratulations. Okay? That's fucking easy. There we go. That's all. If you had to counterfeit Andros Part 2 or Part 3, he would have just threw them freaking damn morphers and threw the keys, and Jake is like, wait, I'm supposed to be the Black Ranger. And Noah's like, yeah, you're supposed to be the Blue Ranger. Shut the fuck up and morph. That's how it goes. Shut the fuck up and morph. That's what freaking happened with TJ. TJ got the freaking damn morpher and he morphed. He didn't give a crap that he turned blue. He did not give a crap. There was no freaking demotion or anything. He just did it. What about freaking Rocky? Even though given Rocky technically wasn't really the leader, no offense, but it's like, yeah, he wasn't the leader, but he went from red to blue. Any complaints? No. No complaints at freaking damn all. No complaints. What about Tommy going from green to white ranger? No complaints. No complaints. He was glad to be a ranger again. No freaking damn complaints. But for some reason, you decide to just do that crap, and it's like, well, whatever. But anyways, the reason why I'd say they don't commit is because they didn't have a Red Ranger female suit, and they didn't have a Pink Ranger male suit, a feminine suit and a masculine suit. It's like, that's how you seal the deal. Do it. It's like, yeah, didn't the second part of Go Kaijers they did, which is like not really. I think, let me try to remember. No, they didn't. They never did it because that was a newer one. Sorry, that was a new one. But it's like, yeah, well, make it your freaking damn selves. And not to mention, Go Kaijers just had their 10th anniversary. So that means that it was already in development, which means they could actually make a suit for that. And who knows, they might just write it as suspense and be like, oh, fuck it, we're going to make a suit of that anyways, because, well, it's going to be in a freaking show, and why not allow freaking damn the freaking movie? It's like, yeah, why the freak not? So it's like, they did it, but they didn't commit. And it sucks where I'm gonna have to make the excuse, which you heard in the episode review, that's like, oh well, it's because their spirit, their essence, they know what they are, and that's what they morphed into. It's like, yeah, that's their freaking their ranger form, and it knows its ranger form and it goes with it, even though the body doesn't suit it. No. Sorry, but fucking no, okay? No. Just no. They didn't even have the freaking proper idea to be like, oh, well, the pigeon can morph. It's like, yeah, they sure didn't do that. They didn't truly commit, did they? They truly didn't commit. Oh, man. And they didn't even defeat the Sporix beast by actually using the Ultrazord final attack. Nope. They used the Mosasaurus, and the Mosasaurus just killed him. The end. But as for Pop Pop, at least the good news is that they didn't actually make Pop Pop comedic. Thank God. It's like, yes, finally, you decide to be cool enough to be like, oh, we don't need to make him funny. We don't have to make jokes at his expense. We don't have to actually lower the part of where he's a good working man. Fuck him, he's now funny. Ha ha ha. He can't do any jobs, really. It's like, no, they decide to actually make him useful. And I'm like, thank goodness. Can we not make him a funny character ever again, please? I would like them to actually have the established respect of him being a handyman and a Renaissance man. And he does lots of good things, and he actually is freaking capable of doing it. Instead of these two other times, which shows how messed up and incapable he is. But hey, he's gonna have a girlfriend now. And as for the whole Amelia part, it's like, did we not already learn that from Matchmaker? It's like, yeah, you really need to not do anything. It's like, you shouldn't do anything. Just, yeah, it's like a Matchmaker and now Makeover. It's like, oh, great. They both have making it. Actually, no, never mind. It's like, yeah, so she had no real faith in Pop Pop, and it's like, he needs to look gentlemanly and stuff, and it's like, yeah, but that's what not she's fall for. And two, it's like, why is it your freaking damn business? It's like, yeah, it's like, why is your damn business? You don't need to care. It's like, he's not gonna blow it. That's why she had goo eyes on him. Walking Nightmare is next. Oh yeah, because, well, now it turns out. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, it ends with the interesting part of where we get to see two new Zords that's going to be summoned. It's like, yeah, two new Zords that's going to be summoned. It's most like the Shadow Raptor and the Light Raptor. I'm like, oh, cool. So now we don't really, it's like, even though they're like, oh, well, you guys got it so easy. Power Rangers, oh, they get it easy. It's like, not this time around. They actually had to solve a puzzle. And then after they solve a puzzle, then they're like, oh, where it is located. It's kind of weird. It's like, it's located. And it's like, wait, hold on. Didn't freaking Void Knight do that once? It's like, nah, I don't think no one digged. It's like, yeah, it seems to me it's like, why in the world didn't you try to dig around for damn keys? It's like, yeah, it's like, Solon, what the hell is this? Why didn't you dig around for the keys? It's like, I'm pretty sure the keys could be somewhere around here. It's like the keys might be missing. It's like if they found 3 keys, maybe those were actually planted around. Well, 2 keys planted around. 2 other ones got sealed. The other one went with the Gold Ranger. One was hidden in the freaking mansion for some reason. I don't know. Gold Ranger had another one. He had an armor key. I would say it would be nice to see like some kind of thing of where it's like she ad-libs, like in the next episode, they ad-libs and be like, oh, there were keys buried there? Well, I had to gather all the other Ranger keys, all the Dino keys, because they were around the place, but I didn't think of looking down here. That kind of sucks. Like, no. So it's like, no, there's no real thing here. It's like, there's no saving. You should have actually dug around. But anyways, yeah, looking at this being like, oh, you can watch it on Netflix. 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 Let's see. The Rangers fight to get Santa's magic sketchbook from the villains. Oh, God. It's like, oh god. It's like, I'm gonna do what I usually do. Pretty sure I'm gonna ditch that freaking episode. It's like, yeah, it's like, I'm pretty sure I'm now claiming it in the freaking inquiry. I'm not gonna watch episode 22. I think I'm now gonna make it a tradition is that I'm not gonna watch any of the episodes that are Christmas related because they are kind of pretty damn stupid. It's like, it has to be noted, they are usually pretty damn stupid. So, we're going to talk about the ratings now. Alright, so, how well did it do in the ratings? Well, first things first, it looks like Cat Lady and Algent was the ones who wrote the story. As for the teleplay, it was MT and Wolfman. So, again, how did it do? It made a 0.17. So it tied with Scary McMansion, but this is not good. I mean, previously we had 0.2. I mean, it was doing so well. It's like, it seemed like it was doing good and went back down. It's like, well, it's not too horribly bad. I mean, it's not too horribly bad, but on the other hand, it's like what I'm going to continue to say. Kids, listen. Even though you're able to watch it on Netflix, it's always a great idea to also watch it on TV too. Okay? It works out, you know? Just help it out too. It's like, well, the good news is that I think there's a tool where you can actually watch and see how many people watch it on Netflix. Was it actually addressed from them? Did they actually officially did it? Or is it third party? I think it's third party. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's basically it. Let's hope for it to do better. Let's hope for it to actually maybe break stuff, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna break things these days. And it's interesting, it was like, oh, it tied with Scary McMansion. The other episode that actually featured the grandfather. You know, he was featured like at least two other times. But it is interesting to be like, so are they saying that they don't like the grandfather? Is that what the viewers are saying? They're like, oh, good Lord, it's the grandfather. Change channel. Well, anyways, we'll see what happens next week.